All
And
right.
we're back.
We're back with round
With
two.
round two. So last round. I'm sorry we bored you with what appeared to be a pretty slow and one-sided match. But now, here in round two, maybe we'll have something a little bit faster paced. Kate, what's in store for us?
We're gonna have some cow on cow action right here.
No.
This is Argenport Minotaurs versus FJS Minotaurs. Marvin on Argenport Minotaurs, running of course 3 copies of Lost Scroll, running the new Black Book Pit Boss 4 copies, Tavrod Classic 4 copies, 3 copies of Gift of the Auric Bank, and a couple of spicy tribal additions in the form of Jade Horn, Sharp Tactician, and 2 copies of the new Golden Horn Security. What's your read on this list?
Uh, okay. So let me wrap my head around this one. So, get Gift of the Auric Bank. Wow. Okay. So, your Minotaurs and weapon 5 double shadow for a legendary relic that says your Minotaurs and weapons have +2/+1 summon play 2/1/1 Minotaurs with taunt. So
Which of
effectively they're
course,
3/2s.
yeah, immediately become 3/2s. Worth noting, this deck is also running 4 copies of Hidden Garrote, which also gets buffed by the Auric Bank, and even more disgustingly, 3 copies of Stormhold Plating, which, if you thought Stormhold Plating was good, +2/+1 makes it even more intimidating.
Yeah, not to mention five more attack off of Tavern. So, you know, this is this list, all these fives is just
Straight value
wow.
down the line.
No respect for aggro whatsoever.
Well, this is a pure value on value matchup here. Spiffirific on an FJS version of the same deck. They are adding Fire to get access to 4 copies of Quarry, 4 copies of 4 copies of Bullseye, and 4 copies of Varbuk, Hand of Anarchy.
Yeah, Varbuk against Tavrod and Black Book is just chef's kiss. You
Varbuk,
play a 5-drop, do nothing. Here, it dies. Take 4.
yeah, Varbuk might be the tiebreaker card in this matchup. Should it come to it? We see both players here starting off with pretty slow hands, although Spifferific, looking at both Quarry and Lost Scroll here, although that Quarry taken away by an exploit, I'm gonna say a plunder, it seems. Was that? I believe that was a Zultan Conclave.
Yep.
From Spifferific's deck.
Hey, when you need the fixing, you need the fixing.
Yep. Marvin currently not running any copies of it. They're running your usual insignia plus crest, along with 4 copies of Argenport Tome, which pretty slow card. But if you're already disrespecting aggro, I suppose you might as well go in all the way.
Sure. So, but I mean, Marvin does have the Magnaventris, but second Magnaventris, now, or in this case, third Magnaventris to the table. That's gonna put someone in for a world of hurt. That said, the Sharp Tactician does take care of one of these.
Yeah, Sharp Tactician, a double justice 2/2 for 4. Summon it silences a unit, and for every battle skill that unit had, it gets +2/+2. However, 2 Magniventrixes here gives Spifferific 6 armor. So just the 1 Magniventrix is already so much damage every single attack step. We're gonna see Black Book blanking here against Marvin's hand, which is just full of 5s and 4s.
Is this what Throne has come to?
Hilariously, Marvin's Furious Magnaventrix has only 1 target because both Black Book and the opposing Furious Magnaventrix, the Unsilenced, have Endurance. We're gonna see Marvin go into the market here for an Annihilate, likely giving the buff and regen to their own Black Book, I'm going to assume.
I'm not sure about that because Black Book is constantly asking to be blocked, so Black Book will lose the regen a bit easily, I think.
We're gonna see here Black Book coming down, and in response to the trigger, we'll see Annihilate fire off to the Furious Magniventress before he gets a chance to attack. So we were talking earlier about how Black Book is quite a powerful card, and Varbuk answers it very cleanly. And this seems to be what we're gonna see here. Varbuk coming down,
yeah, exactly,
taking down the Regent Black Book, just a space.
This is quite an attack.
Gonna see Vinegrafter with the Regent block Varbuk and just bounce 2 bounces on the Black Books. Furious Magniventress comes down, locks down that Varbuk for a little bit. Might just be enough to get this Marvin back into the game. However, spiffirific with the hidden Garrote top deck. Hidden Garrote 7/5.
That's a big hidden Garrote.
Well, it was hidden, so we couldn't see just how big it was.
Wow.
Yeah, reminder that Black Book has Warcry 2.
Wow.
Yeah, so even if you are just bouncing off of those 1/7s with Endurance, those Warcry stack up so fast.
I'm not sure they stack up so fast, but they're there. And they will be drawn, at some point if you can't make any progress towards killing your opponent. And a 1/7 Endurance probably is going to do a lot to slow that down.
Yeah, a 1/7 is such an awkward stat line to work with down on the board. Sure, you have a lot of answers as you're playing Justice and Shadow, but if you're trying to contest that on the board, it is so awkward. However, Sharp Tactician, while not as clean an answer as Varbuk, it is quite the answer to Black Book. That is, I believe, +6/+6 from a Varbuk silence.
Taunt, Endurance, Warcry 2.
And Taunt.
Yeah, yes, I said Taunt, Endurance, and Warcry 2. Though maybe the Warcry 2 should be counted as 2 separate instances of Warcry.
Well, maybe in that case it would be almost as good an answer as Varbuk. We see Spifferific firing off a Lunar Claw here. Gonna go for locking down a card in Marvin's hand. I assume you go for the Hidden Garrote here, right?
I think that's the only target. It's weapons. Is it weapons and spells, or is it non-unit? I forget.
I believe the answer is it is a non-unit, non-power card. So...
Okay, non-unit, non-power. Okay, so hey, here's Varbuk. That's also an interesting answer to Magniventress. Magniventress can't profitably block him.
Yeah, Valor on Varbuk. Varbuk quite. Oh god, we see Sharp Tactician coming down, getting +4/+4 from that Varbuk, which is now a 4/3 vanilla.
Yeah, that's rough. Sharp Tactician actually shown herself to be quite the card in these Minotaur decks.
Yeah, all these cards have at least one battle skill because you are trying to play as many value cards in this matchup as well. So you're basically trying to outvalue each other in this matchup, right?
Correct.
See.
Okay, Hidden Garrote
into Jadehorn.
Jadehorn.
Jadehorn, for those unfamiliar, a 3 and 2 Justice for a 3/2 Warcry pledge. All the mechanic there. Summon, gain 3 armor, and your avatar can attack an additional time this turn, which is actually quite a lot of power, especially in this matchup. We see Black Book take down a bullseye there, which could have been pretty crucial against the Gift of the Auric Bank in Marvin's hand.
Correct.
And well, just as before, we see the Varbuk come down, take down the Black Book, A plus space.
Yeah, that's rough beats. But here's a Furious Magnum Ventress off the top from Marvin. That Magni is going to come down and stun the unsilenced Varbuk, I think. And then a 4-3 and a 3-3 don't attack through a 3-5.
Not only that,
So,
but it also gives Marvin a little bit of armor, which is pretty important. However, we're gonna see Marvin here come down with Gift of the Auric Bank, generate a couple of blockers here, it seems, and just keep being aggressive. Hidden Garrote to the face? Is that correct? The appears so.
well, basically, here's the problem. In order to take down this Hidden Garrote, Spiff has to attack with all 3 units, and when they do, the crackback from the Sharp Tactician is lethal. And if they don't, then those units trade off, and the Garrote is lethal.
Yeah, Marvin taking the very, very aggressive line here, clearly determining themselves as the beatdown and getting incredibly worthy here. Spiffirific completely breaking just power off the top, and it seems they're thinking long and hard if they have any line out of the situation.
They don't.
You know, we were talking about the Magnum Ventrix, how much of an important draw that was. We were thinking too defensively, it seems, for Marvin's taste.
Hey, I mean, yeah, and yes, Spiff sees checkmate, packs it in, and we're going to game 3.
These matchups are being quite intense. There's so much value that both these decks are packing. The little synergies such as Jade Horn, such as Gift of the Auric Bank, being able to buff stuff like the Hidden Garrote, which is seems to be quite the popular inclusion in these aggressive shadow decks.
Yeah, I mean, finally we have a reason to actually play Minotaurs beyond Tavrod, and we see that on display there. Minotaurs finally coming into their own as their own tribe, and game 3, Marvin looking at a pretty solid hand. Turn 2 exploit, assuming a pledge on the turn 3 Jade Horn, and then a Magnum Ventress on turn 4, which they'll probably reach in stride.
That seems pretty reasonable. We also see in Marvin's hand their singleton copy of Wasteland Broker.
Singleton Wasteland Broker.
What do you make of that one?
You gotta love it.
Speaking of Wasteland Broker, Marvin's market consisting of Annihilate, No Die Enemy, Silverblade Menace, Backbreaker, which for those not in the known is a another relic weapon, 6 and double shadow for a 6/1 with extra armor equal to your Justice influence. And finally, a Pale Rider Stampede. We see exploits, going back and forth here. Just both players kind of trying to fish as much value out of each other's hand as possible. Would you say?
Yeah, I mean, if you have the exploit, might as well fire it off when you don't have much else to do with your power. And Furious Magnum Ventress comes down and is immediately answered by a Sharp Tactician.
Not a fully clean answer. It is only a 4/4 against the 3/5 Magnum Ventress. So the Magnum Ventress can still kind of bounce off of it. And most importantly, the 4/4 can get taken down by Lunar Claw, which is what we're going to see happen here. And 3 to the face.
Might as well try and keep the board as clean as possible. But here comes Gift of the Auric Bank, I think. Nope.
We're gonna see a Furious Magnum Ventrix here, getting a little bit of armor back, and I think Marvin is trying to get back in the offensive here. However, that Tavrod, absolute stone wall against their Furious Magnum Ventrix, as it can only grow to a 6/8 from their current armor.
This Jade Horn provides 3 more armor.
That is very accurate, and we are gonna see Jade Horn come down, and I assume a direct follow-up attack from Furious Magnum Ventrix. 9/11. taking
Yep, 9
down
is bigger
the
than
Lunar
7.
Claw.
Tavrod can't jump in front of that.
And of course, I'm gonna see a low scroll here, just taking us up to 6, which is a pretty important number.
But guess what? Tavrod gets to swing now. And in a deck about Minotaurs and weapons, that's really bad news for Marvin.
Well, let's see how many hits we we see from Tavrod here. I'm assuming we're gonna see an average of 2. Is that right?
I mean, I didn't do the counting, but I have to assume that Tavrod is going to get at least 1 hit at most likely a 1 hit every turn, but oh my goodness.
Tavrod picking up most importantly a black book, which is now a 6/7 that comes down and takes the gift of the Auric Bank. Absolutely backbreaking for Marvin here.
Yeah, that's a big problem now. That said,
Marvin,
the Magnaventris is still going to be very fat.
That is indeed a fact. However, Marvin staring down here a 5/7 and a 6/7 with taunt or cry 2, and whenever it kills something, and it will because of the taunt, it will get to just draw spiffirific more and more cards.
Yeah, it's quite clear that Black Book is clearly intended to be played with Tavrod. Basically, no attack and this on attack, on kill trigger.
Well, it's Minotaurs do have a history of weapon synergy. So Black Book, definitely another Minotaur in a long legacy of Minotaurs that carry weapons very, very well.
That's true.
We see another swing here from the Furious Magnaventrix. And we're gonna see a chump block from Spifferific. No real reason to put these endurance units at risk.
And now the crackback. Something has to jump in front of that Black Book. It's probably going to be the Jadehorn Shade.
Wow, Tavrod completely whiffing on the second attack. That might be pretty huge for Marvin here.
I'm not sure how huge it is, honestly, because, oh, hey, Spiff just milled 5 power they didn't want. There's value to that. And then there's also this 8/1 hidden Garrote. If I recall correctly, it was a draw off a Tavrod. That's going to take out this Magnaventris, I think. And also, oh hey.
Oh dear lord. Oh no. That's
How much
16.
Armor is here?
Just 4. The hidden Garrote is simply an 8/1. However, this is 16 damage straight to face, as hidden Garrote is an unblockable relic weapon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Marvin doesn't have any attacks through.
Marvin choosing there not to block the Tavrod. They could have had a profitable double block with the 2 units. Do you think that was worth considering?
That's the match. The giant Garrote. Just hey, big butt board stall, and suddenly this Tavrod buffed Garrote just says, "Okay, you're dead."
Well, I'm not sure how well you can hide an 8/1 relic weapon in your pocket, but if the card says it's hidden, sure, I'll believe it. We see here right into another matchup, another set of Minotaurs. This time going as Elysian Spells. We see 2 Equivocates firing off from the spells deck, which currently controls a flying plunk. I'm assuming that's from an Accelerated Evolution.
Yeah, definitely looks like it is from an Accelerated Evolution. The other possibility could have been Skycrag Scalebreaker's card, assuming Cananda runs it.
That's definitely a possibility if you really, really need attachments.
But this Elysian deck not looking to be in a good position. There's a 5/9 Black Book on the other end.
Well, look at the bright side. If all you have is exhausted units, the Black Book can force you to block. Oh, Krog here firing a last stand at the gate.
Yeah, that needs to be negated right now.
Last on the gate, pretty spicy inclusion here. It plays two 3 minotaurs with endurance, as well as a 6/6 relic weapon. However, your life total does become 1.
Right.
Here in the void, a null blade as well, which has some relevant text against some of the cards in the format.
Okay, so Plunk getting in. Canada needs to find something desperately, and
Well,
just doesn't have enough power, I think.
they do have a bunch of charm blockers. However, I don't think that's going to be enough. That's exactly 3 damage from the non-taunt units. Oh, of course, making sure to clear the way with an exploit. Just a spacing. The 2 taunt units will have to be blocked. However, that is exactly 3 damage from the little dorks.
Mm-hmm.
And if that would not have been game, Black Book would have also gotten to draw a card.
Right. Okay, so that was the end of that. Looks like Argenport is, wow, kind of new powerhouse on the block. A reminder though, in addition to Varbuk, one other card that absolutely destroys Black Book, assuming it's not off a Tavrod hit, is Baton in Stone Scar. So if you're leaning towards the fire end, then give Baton a consideration.
Yeah, Black Book does have a very awkward styling that lends itself to some specific removal spells, such as, for example, Suffocate.
Mm-hmm.
We see here, it seems, Stone Scar aggro, I believe. This might actually be Stone Scar Nico Tread. I see an auto tread in Phoenix's hand.
Well, of course. It's basically your standard pile of Stone Scar cards, and then 4 copies of Nico and 4 copies of Auto Tread.
Well, if it sings, we
As
see
they
on the
say, if the shoe
opposite.
fits.
Exactly, we see on the opposite hand. We see a dinosaur nest alongside in the opposite hand is a Twisted Farmer from Hammer Time.
Yeah, late game Twisted Farmers can be quite nasty. Ambush them in and then get this huge board and then smash your opponent with it the next turn.
Not to mention cards like Shadow Sketch, which can make Twisted Farmer attacks incredibly lethal.
Oh, for sure.
We see here Twisted Farmer in response to the attacks blocking this Jack, sending it to the void. And instead of Phoenix continuing to auto-thread, they will go into the market here with Ixtant Merchant. Trading away, they have quite a couple of options. This Battlefront Dasher probably not doing much. Indeed, we see that go to the market for a Caleb's Persuader.
Okay, I see the plan here. So swing in with a Persuader, and then use that Sigil for Jack.
Oh, that's quite the plan. Yes. However, they do need to survive this onslaught from Hammer Time. I see a block from the Ixtant Merchant. That's going to get devoured for 2 extra cards.
So the Auto Tread, interestingly, didn't block one of these saplings. I guess because Phoenix was playing around Vara's favor.
Yeah, when you play auto tread decks, you learn to be very protective of your little buddy.
That's fair. And
See
here we
here,
see the issue with Nico Tread decks. That when you don't find the combo, Auto Tread is just kind of, what's it doing there?
well, auto tread can clear off these Dino Nest tokens, which is quite important as the Dino Nest has nothing to flip over onto.
That's true. At least the first Dino Nest.
Of course. Not to mention that apart from fueling the Jack, this Caleb's Persuader can also fuel the auto tread by getting discardable
sure.
fire sigils.
For sure. Fire decks are notoriously hungry for good card draw. And this
Oh,
Caleb's Persuader,
second Twisted
can't-
Farmer here. Not doing a whole lot there. We could see a quadruple block here potentially. That seems to be the case.
So 2 Twisted Farmers going to bite it. Saplings are going to stick around for a turn.
I think that's a very reasonable line from Hammer Time. They do want to limit their opponent's intake of cards as much as possible. Of course, we see another A space here from Hammer Time. Well, almost. No rats attacking in. I do wonder why that is.
That's strange to me, I guess, because future Rat Kings, potentially.
I suppose, but is the Rat King extremely valuable in this board? I don't think there's a lot of value that's being generated by Rat King. Not to mention that Rat King itself does come with 2 other rats.
Right. Okay, so again, I won't be surprised if we see this auto tread discard the treasure trove to take out the dinosaur, because those things are going to flip.
So interesting. So auto tread growing quite large by the second here. Phoenix is holding onto a Sill No Regrets, which is able to give the auto tread plus no pluses, my bad. Quick draw and double damage, I believe.
Yep.
That could be a huge onslaught of damage going right to Hammer Time's face.
Yeah, this potentially 4 plus 4 plus 4. That's 12 damage.
Yeah, we entered.
Stone Scar gets to do its thing.
We entered this game seeing Phoenix kind of on the back foot, and the roll seems to have reversed now. That's gonna be 12 plus 4. That's gonna be 16 damage going straight to Hammer Time's face, going down to 10. Jack drawing a treasure. He loves his work.
He does, and wow, Hammer Time just bricking and I'd say flooding out, but I do think Phoenix also saw their fair share of power. Just that they had things to do with it in the form of discarding the auto tread, discarding the Jack.
Yeah, and speaking of auto tread, we see a treasure trove into another auto tread with the last card remaining being a fire sigil getting discarded to auto tread for more than enough lethal.
Yeah, there's the game. It was 30 life to 7 a couple of turns ago, and then oops, you ran out of gas, and then Stone Scar just went and murdered you.
Yeah, outroted there quite the key card. Being able to take down those Dino Nest tokens before they flipped into 3 trees, which could have stalled Phoenix's board. Very, very crucial card.
Definitely. The issue is, what happens when there are multiple Dino Nests going off.
Well, in that case, you hope that you are better at playing Eternal than your opponent, and you top deck the exact answer you need. Continuing, keeping the Eternal going here, we see, I believe, almost on Combrelix is gonna be my guess. Oh no, there's a Hand of the Speaker on board, so this might just be a more traditional form of ramp, it seems, against what seems like a pretty traditional Xenon build. Would you say?
So if I may, so DQ Doggo, they are playing what is an attempt at, your standard Xenon mid-range. And it seems they're not having a bad time with it. This Bodian Rocks Forever can just inscribe as long as it needs to.
Yeah, and eventually come down as a huge threat that Combre really has no way to answer. They cannot be killed, and it is very, very hard to go above such a huge unit, even if you are Combre.
Yeah, I mean, Combre has its ways. The question is, what is Almost doing? Are they trying to do some because they're always doing something interesting. So
Almost seems to be playing a much more traditional build of Combray ramp, contrary to the currently popular version of Combray, which is more relic based with
oh wow, this is basically a big Combray style list. It's
yeah,
like
we have not seen this kind of deck in quite a little bit.
yeah, there's 4 Martial Iron Thorns, there's 2 Mystic Ascendants. This is
What was this, 2016?
yeah, so someone needs to tell almost hey, get with the times.
Almost, of course, running 4 copies of Initiative of the Sands, running full playsets of both sets of etchings, which is actually quite interesting, especially as their market does not seem to be fully Combray cards.
Yeah, so almost market here. Three multi-faction cards, but a copy of Nash and Pit of Lenecta means this is a time-leaning market in a deck playing Diana.
Well, it is a dual faction, a pure dual faction deck in front, which means you do get access to very powerful fixings such as the Insignia cycle.
That's true, but influence is still going to matter. As far as cards like etchings are concerned, and then duels are not on duels have depletion. So, if you're
DQ
ever on the
Doggo.
draw against aggro and with a handful of duels, you know there's a cost to even being 2 faction.
Speaking of being on the draw against aggro, DQ Doggo here, laying on the beatdowns with really just a couple of dorky units, but they're getting the job done. This Mystic Ascendant is going to get Vikram, I assume, after we see the Shrivel on Diana.
Absolutely. This Vikram just going to yoink this Mystic Ascendant, take it out of the way, and almost is going to come down to 1.
Yeah, almost. This the Combray that can definitely do some powerful things if it gets there, but getting there is the issue, especially when you're getting pressured so heavily. We're gonna see a Vikram here, play a power card, get a card back. Absolutely brutal. And almost going down to 1 while DQ Doggo fishes yet another card out of their deck, drawing straight gas here with an Allhead Ascending.
Yeah, so what is DQ Doggo?
Etchings going into their market, which consists of Display of Realities, The Big Wheel, End of an Era, Fall to Ruin, and Bodhi and Rocks Forever. We're gonna see Display of Realities come out here.
So
almost picking up their singleton copy of Find a Way.
So almost, I think, priced into Shenra speaking away his own Mystic Ascendant.
As
because if the Stonewall Plating were to come out and kill the Vikram, the Mystic Ascent would still be exhausted on the block. So
yeah. Important to note, DQ Doggo is running 3 copies of Sinister Rumors, which, if almost decides to Shenra speaks and not decimate here, that might potentially come back to bite them.
Yeah, that's true. Almost really needs to take that into account. If this is a game 3, then I think almost has to bite the bullet. Do we see the Decimate come out? I think
it does not. No, it does not appear to be. So that is a clean Shenra speaks.
Wow.
Not only
playing around the rumors, just saying I can't beat it.
Not only that, but Vikram also has an extra line of text for when there are no enemy units on the board.
Of course. But off the top is a huge Bodhi and Rocks Forever, which DQ Doggo elects not to play. What mode? Oh, they went for the charge on Alhead.
Yeah, the very not often used mode on Display of Realities. Give a unit in your hand +2/+2 and charge, kind of a souped up accelerate, if you will.
Yeah, got the job done there.
Yeah. Almost's list is very interesting. Almost reads like a combination of cards that you played the game during set 1 to 4, then you kind of took a break, you came back, you saw the 2 latest sets, and you just kind of souped up your old deck.
Right.
But Xenon cards sometimes just get the job done. It's removal plus good creatures, and sometimes that's all you need.
Right. Even if it's Xenon cards I own, if those cards you own, are good enough, hey, it doesn't matter what answer needs to be what threat needs to be answered. That okay.
We are being informed
That's the end of the round. So see you in round 3.
Yeah, see you in round 3.